Hey guys, Kurt from Time Machine Transport. Just me and Mr. Clyde. Take him over here and we go walking around. And anyway, beautiful day in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And he likes to come over here and play by the sprinklers. So anyways, finally got my tooth pulled. Got to get fitted for braces tomorrow. We're going to be 52 in August. And I'll be putting braces on, which is getting the Invisalign, which is they're like kind of like mouthpieces, except they're clear, which would correct all my teeth on the bottom. But anyway, that's not what the video is about. But it's interesting because, you know, my mom, she was on welfare when I was younger until she married my stepdad, and we never even talked about braces in our family, right? So, but my wife's family, well, her sons, they had braces, and it's like different classes, right, of people, where my parents didn't care. Like, well, if your mouth is screwed up, you're still gonna deal with it, you know. So it's like not like my wife is upper elite. Hi baby, I love you. But anyways, it just shows you like the different class people. Like, I don't really know any people like of a maybe middle class or whatever, but like, you know, hood status level or hood level or whatever the case is. You don't see many, you know, inner city kids walk around with braces. But anyways, that's not what the video is about. I don't know why I even went off on that thing. But so I skimmed through news channels on YouTube, and it's nice because I try not to listen to mainstream media, definitely not CNN, but like Newsmax and RT and Vice News and stuff like that, Sky News, and I listen to Fox, but at least I can browse and choose and pick what I want to listen to because they do certain clips on YouTube. So anyways, Fauci, that big ass turd, he had mentioned that, well, he told the non-Terrell Buckleys, the non-vaccinators, right? Get over it, is what it, quote unquote, get over it. And it still sticks in my throat really bad. So anyways, what you doing, Bubba? Go play in the sprinkler, man. He likes to get wet. Not like Training Day get wet with Denzel Washington. You gotta get wet. He likes to get literally wet. So Fauci said that, just keeping my eye on him, sorry, that we ought not, it was around along the lines of saying, don't make it political, get over it. So we're making this whole Terrell Buckley thing, the vax. The non-vaxxers like myself, my wife, and many of our friends and family we're doing it because we have a political agenda. That has nothing to do with it. Trump, I truly believe, it was a psyop. There he is. There you go, Bubba. I truly believe that Trump was a psyop. I truly still believe that. And so when the left was on Trump, every time, if he said left, they said right. If he said black, they said white. He could have literally have saved a black child in a burning vehicle, literally crawled in and saved their lives. And the left would have said, well, yeah, he planned it that way because he wanted to do a publicity stunt. So the left was making everything he did a political reason not to agree with him because they hated his policies and they hated him as a person and him trying to change. But I truly do believe that he was a psyop still. But anyway, so Fauci, shame on you. But he also said that why aren't you getting it? Where, you know, it's convenient, it's free. It's not free. It's not free. We're paying for it. It's not free. Nothing is free. Again, we're paying to keep the lights on, and they're spending our money how they choose to, without our okay, right? Or without our blessing, right? So anyways, for him, and then for him to say, "Oh, and it saves your lives." So I know I'm kicking a can down the can down the road again, or beating a dead horse. However, I heard on YouTube somebody say, "Well, I figure, I got it, and my family got the Terrell Buckley because we paid for it, so might as well take it." We paid for it, so might as well take it. That absolutely makes no sense. So if you paid for the stimulus, our tax dollars paid for the stimulus, right? So shouldn't we all get the stimulus then? If our tax dollars paid for it? Our tax dollars pays for free education for certain people, free health care for certain people, rent assistance for people. So shouldn't we all get it then? That's so asinine that somebody would say, well, me and my family took it, or my family and I took it because I figure we paid for it, so might as well take it. Dude, you are freaking lost, and you're never coming back. So, anyways, that was asinine. Sorry for the shaking on the video. So I wrote down some notes because I didn't want to forget what I wanted to talk about. So, Fauci says, "Get over it." That's just crazy. And of course, Sleepy Joe Biden is. He was upset because he didn't meet his quota for Independence Day, right? You ever have that cut in your mouth where your tongue always messes with it? So, anyways, I'm embarrassed of my missing tooth. So, but it'll all be pretty in a year from now, I hope. So, and braces are expensive, man. That's crazy. Crazy expensive. Obviously, that's why we never talked about it in our household as children. So, anyways, what's up, Bubba? Huh? What you doing there? Such a good boy. I'll tell you, man, that is Daddy's little buddy. He loves his daddy, and I love that little dude. But he's so smart. Of course, I'm biased. But anyways, back to the point of the video. So anyways, there's a few things. So we'll stay on topic with the Terrell Buckley. And I have sticky notes because I know I always go off on these tangents and I forget to write stuff down. So anyways, so people obviously know about my stance on the Terrell Buckley and comparing it to TB, right? That more people die of TB, tuberculosis, than of this smokescreen, worst virus on the planet, right? So I checked 2020, and I'll get to the point here. Well, there's a few topics on this video. So when I Googled it today, and I'm sure the numbers aren't correct on anything as far as the smoke screen, as I'll call it. But the TB numbers, it said 1.8 million people will die of tuberculosis in 2020. 1.8 million people around the world. Now, it's pretty simple math. You take 1.8 million divided by 365 days, and then you find out how many minutes are in a day. Or I'm sorry, then you find out how many people die per day. So if you take 365 or 1.8 million divided by 365, you get 4,931 people die of TB per day around the world. And then if you go ahead and you take how many minutes are in a day, and you divide that 1440, there's 1,440 minutes in a day. It comes out to 3.42 people per minute die of TB in 1 year. Well, at least it's 2021 or 2020. Sorry. In 2019, it was 1.4 million, I believe. Yeah, 1.4. So 1.4 million people died. Sorry, I'm one of those messy note taker guys. So yeah, it was 1.8 million in 2020, 1.4 million in 2029. So if you divide it, like I said, by 365, then by 24, and then so you'll take the 365 divided into, or 1.8 million divided by 3.65 divided by 24, and then you'll get your how many minutes in a day, and then it'll tell you how many people die of tuberculosis per day. Okay, so that's pretty alarming, right? So then I checked up how to avoid contracting TB. It's I thought maybe you got to get blood transfusion or freaking some kind of miracle, whatever. No, it's just cover your nose and mouth when you sneeze or cough. Pretty obvious. Wash your hands often. Also pretty obvious. And avoid contact with people. Same thing as the Terrell Buckley, essentially. So, if you have, and here's another, okay, so I did write this down. Sorry. I'm just keeping an eye on him because there's a bunch of geese over here. And here's a quick story. So a buddy of mine, Johnny Mack, who's now deceased, rest in peace, Johnny Mack, he said, and Johnny Mack's not a liar, I don't know why he would make this up, but his friend had a Doberman pinscher and he lived on a lake. And there were some geese coming up off the lake and they were just feeding or whatever. And he let the Doberman out, and the Doberman ran up to the geese and the mama and papa had baby chicks or geeslings or whatever. And the goose, or I don't know which one it was, mother or father, popped its neck back, and the Doberman was coming in, and that goose just popped its neck back and fired at it with its beak and hit it directly on the nose, and it killed the Doberman. So anyway, so geese can be pretty, what's up, Bubba? There he is. Look at that little buddy. So geese can be pretty dangerous for dogs. So anyways, so now, and I don't know, I think my wife had told me, my wife's an RN. If you are a subscriber to the channel, you know that. And if you aren't, she's a nurse. She works in cardiology. She worked ICU and dialysis for years. Now she's in cardiology. Anyways, so I thought she had told me that there wasn't a vaccine for tuberculosis, but there is actually. So I looked up. Come on, Kurt. I don't want to put the phone down. All right. So the TB shot is also known as the B as in Bravo, C as in Charlie, G as in Golf, BCG, which is the Bacilli, Bacille, Calamity, Calmette, and Guerin, Guerin. So acronym for BCG, I guess. All right, it's a vaccine for tuberculosis, and it's given to infants and children, but it's not really used here in the U.S. Because I guess we don't have a huge problem with TB. So there is a vaccination, okay? Now, I don't know if you contract TB if you can get a vaccination, or if you just carry it for the rest of your life. The point being is it's very, very deadly. Way more deadly than the smoke screen, right? But yet we weren't mandated to wear masks or get the shot. Okay. So there's just a few fun facts on TB and how to avoid TB. So as I'm going through the channels this morning and looking at stuff to decide whether I want to view it or not. So Hunter Biden, well, the Biden family, I guess, are artists. Not like well-known artists, but they like to do art. Well, Hunter Biden is selling artwork for $500,000 for a piece. So if you think about the corruption with the Bidens, Um, and the White House, I guess, is they're trying to keep like the purchaser of the art confidential, because obviously, if somebody could, would buy a piece of, and I guess even Joe Biden's kind of an artist, I guess. And some people have said that Hunter Biden's art is actually pretty good, I guess, but he didn't go to school for it or anything like that. So, but the point being is, what better way to hide corrupt money by buying these art pieces from the Biden family, right? But $500,000 for a Hunter Biden's piece of artwork is freaking ludicrous. They just had a Picasso that was found in a closet in Maine. A Picasso in a closet in Maine that recently sold for $150,000. A Picasso. But you want to sell Hunters for $500,000. So the White House is, well, we want to keep the buyer confidential through the art gallery. Come on, man. Like, they wouldn't go and say, this so-and-so bought this. Come on, man. I mean, yeah. Of course they're going to tell you who bought it. And it's more than likely corrupt money anyways. So it's like the Clintons when they were doing $2 million speeches, right? Chelsea, doing a speech, and someone paid $2 million for a speech. Come on, we all know that the Clintons are corrupt. That's why they call them the Clinton cartel, right? So what other way? What better way to hide the corrupt money and get rich from selling illegitimate art? Or maybe it's legitimate. I mean, in his mind, every art is perceived in different ways. So there's a big pond behind me, so that's where the geese are, but there's a fence. So then wrote down some other stuff. Now, all right. So we talked about Fauci. All right. So here's another one. So Joe Biden, he was asked by just recently in a press conference if he liked the Taliban or if he feared the Taliban, and he's like, "Is that a trick question?" He's like, "Of course I hate the Taliban and I fear them." Or I don't think the word was fear. I think it was, "Do you like the Taliban?" And he's like, "No." And then he says, "Yeah, that's why I told Obama that we need to meet or bring them to the gates of hell," or something. That's a lie. It's a complete lie. He did not. If you go to 2012 when Obama, okayed I don't believe that any of that happened anyways with bin Laden. I think it was all a farce. And it was a show. Obviously, that's why all the SEAL Team 6 guys are all dead, I think, except for one. They all died in a training exercise on a Chinook helicopter, I think, with Rangers or something. Anyways, so they went back and they showed Biden in 2012 saying that he told Obama, no, we shouldn't go into Afghanistan. We shouldn't go after bin Laden. So you just said that you told Obama. It just shows you how much of a liar this creep is. And I truly feel sorry for the old man. I truly do. It's embarrassing, first off, for an American or a patriot to watch this knucklehead. But I really feel bad because he's not all there, man. I mean, he's got to refer to constant cards in his sport coat pocket, and then he lied. If you go to 2012, it just go on Fox or go on their YouTube thing and look up something about Biden. He lied. He said, yeah, I told Obama we'll meet him in the gates of hell or something, or we'll bring him to the gates of hell. And then and that's what he just recently said. And then 2012, he says, no, I told Obama, we shouldn't go after him, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, you're a liar, man. You're a liar. Like I said, you can't lie to a liar, man. I mean, I lied for years. All right. Oh, here's so along the lines where I really, really, truly feel bad for him is, so when Trump was in office, the left was calling for a cognitive test, right? Like how smart you are, if this person's aware of what's going on. And I don't know if a lot of people know this or don't know it, but it's a very difficult test, or they didn't say very difficult, but it's a difficult test. And Trump scored a 30 out of 30, a perfect score. And so now the right is calling for a cognitive test on Biden, and they're refusing to give us one. So again, it's all, it's like Trump says left, they say right. He says black, they say white. It's crazy. Anyways, so then let's see, what else? All right, covered that. And then here's another one. So on Fox, I guess there was a guy who they quote unquote called him the godfather of propaganda, Edward Bernays, and it's the control people's choices through manipulation and propaganda, essentially. And that's exactly what they're doing to us now. They're pushing this propaganda on us. Fauci, number one. But I'll tell you, I put something on Facebook a while back, and I don't go on Facebook at all anymore, just because of the way that social media is, and it probably put me in jail, I guess. But so there was a governor, the Georgia governor, Kent, I think it is, or something like that. Anyways, he had said that because now they're trying to go door to door and do Terrell Buckley. Not, I guess would kind of be counseling or awareness, right? So I it's so crazy how they are just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And if people are arguing about masks right now, right? And what do you think's going to happen if they mandate the Terrell Buckley? What do you think's going to? There's going to be a revolt, man. I mean, there's no possible way. If people are up in arms and total disagreement on the masks, what do you think's going to happen when you mandate or you try to mandate the Terrell Buckley? What's going to happen is these people that are going door to door, someone's going to end up getting shot or killed. Watch, or seriously beat up, because that is going to enrage people. So again, then this governor said, so the people, or no, he says, well, the government has paid trillions. Now he used trillions. I don't know would that be considered with all the stimulus money and everything? The government has paid trillions of dollars for this Terrell Buckley propaganda and everything else. The government didn't pay shit. We paid for it, not the government. And that's what I don't understand. Like, when are they going to acknowledge the fact that we, the people, are the ones that paid for all this? When are they going to acknowledge that? They always say the government or they or whatever. It's we the people, for the people, of the people. I don't understand how they can continually avoid that. I mean, I don't get it. So I don't know. I'm dumbfounded on this whole thing. So again, and I told Sarah, my wife, I said, if they come to our place and knock on the door, they're going to get a full ear of tuberculosis and the numbers, and maybe they can in turn start telling their people, because a lot of people are unaware of the amount of people that die every year of tuberculosis. So maybe it might hit home to maybe a few of them. If they come to our door, I will talk to them. I'll listen to them, but you're not gonna be like, oh, I'll just roll up my sleeve for you. Yeah, let's just step into the bathroom real quick. Nah, it's not gonna happen. Unless I'll give you a swirly, I'll put your head in the toilet or something. But yeah, man, it's crazy, just crazy that. Okay, so back to the Facebook thing. So I put on Facebook, I don't know, last year or something, and I said to people, if you are pro Terrell Buckley, or if you are getting it, or if you got it, And because, the government's telling you, oh, you're going to die if you don't take this, right? If you think that the government, our government, like I said, I love this country, but I don't love or trust our government. So now, if you think the government has done enough for racism, if you think the government has done enough for homeless, if you think the government has done enough for the elderly, if you think the government has done enough for veterans, if you think that the government has done enough for anything along those lines, if you think the government has done enough, then Godspeed. Then that's why you took the Terrell Buckley, because now you think they have your best interests in mind, right? If you truly believe that they did enough for all those people or those different categories, or for education, if you think the government has done enough for education, for housing, for anything, for benefits, for health care, if you think the government has done enough for any of those things, then Godspeed. Then that's why you took it. But I truly, and a lot of our friends and family truly do believe that our government hasn't done enough for racism, or the elderly, or the homeless, or for vets, or for education, or for health care. They haven't done enough, right? They just continue to spend our money and give it to other countries and whatnot. So we truly believe that they haven't done enough. So they haven't done enough. It's pretty obvious. So why would they have our best interests in mind now? They didn't have they don't have the vet's best interest. They don't have and I'm a vet, but they don't have the vet's best interest. They don't have the homeless best interest. They don't have the elderly's best interest. They don't have the minorities' best interest, in my mind. They don't have the education's best interests, or getting or educating people. They don't have none of that. So why would they have, why do they love us so much now? All of a sudden, all these years, now all of a sudden they love us that much? So if you're spending trillions, not my words, the other guy, the governor's words, if they're spending trillions of dollars on this propaganda, but they're not spending trillions of dollars on education or healthcare, or for veterans or homeless or elderly, or minorities, I mean, why spend trillions of dollars on something that doesn't have the fatality rate that tuberculosis does? Tuberculosis, look it up. It has a 1.8 million people died in 2020, 1.4 million in 2019. But yet, no, I mean, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if you can take a vaccination to cure it, or whatever the case is, or to rid it of your body. I don't know. The point being is, if you have those kind of numbers, why weren't we mandated? And I know I'm just beating a dead horse now, but I just wanted to update you guys with some interesting things going on around our corrupt country, and just enjoying this beautiful day in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And I got to get out to the shop. Still have not received my kingpins. Guy's supposed to mail them out either today or tomorrow. I've been home for like 2 months now. Last time I did a video, my hair was actually short. So, but yeah, I've been home for about, I think, going on 2 months. So I'm hoping to leave, not next week, the following week. I'll probably get the injectors next week sometime. So got to get out to the shop and put new door seals on the rig, and I already got the toolboxes and everything else to finish painting everything. But anyways, there was just so much stuff I needed to get done, and I just been putting it off. But I figure I'd bring Mr. Clyde over here to play by the sprinklers and talk to you guys, and I hope your guys' 4th was well, and just think about it, man. Just because our tax dollars paid for this thing, you don't have to take it, man, because you're not getting compensated from anything else unless you don't have a job, or unless you're here illegally. well, whatever the case is, I mean, I don't see any of it. I mean, I'm an 80% disabled vet from a parachute malfunction, but I'm not disabled. I still work. I still do out there busting my ass. So, but it just didn't fall in my pocket. The VA didn't say, oh, yeah, you know what? Here's 80% of your wage or whatever during that time. Anyways, now I'm just venting and babbling. So, anyways, I figure I just let you guys know what's going on, and please like and subscribe to the channel. Well, first off, I truly hope that this video finds you well. I truly do. And so does my wife, and so does Mr. Clyde. And please like and subscribe to the channel. Ciao.